Hey guys, welcome back to BlackTideTV. Today I've got a wide topic sort of discussion video for you concerning Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered and a pretty common phrase, something that you've likely heard in your day-to-day routine some point through your life. Don't believe everything you hear. Now I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this situation that I'm going to bring up in this video in the comment section down below, so be prepared to leave your thoughts and we'll have a little conversation down there at the end of the video. But for now, I'll jump right into it. I'll tell you the situation and I'll explain my side of the story, how I see things going. So, don't believe everything you hear. This is a pretty common phrase. I think most of you know what it means. It just means to not buy into someone else's prophecy, to not take anyone else's ideals as your own without doing the research and coming up with your own conclusions. Essentially, don't instantaneously believe in what anyone else has to say. Every conclusion that you come up with should be your own. You should have your own thoughts. You should have your own ideals when it comes to, anything really, like your whole life. This is a good mantra to have in life. Take everything with a grain of salt. Don't believe what anyone has to say. Don't trust anybody. But it's a pretty straightforward phrase, and I think a lot of people really understand it. But the thing is, people understand it, but they don't really use it the way that it should be used. So I am comparing this directly to Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered and the high-profile YouTube personalities that have been calling out this game. Recently, I've noticed a trend in YouTubers ever since they added these new DLC weapons, right? They added the MWR, they added the Kamchatka 12 and the 44 Magnum, and I've noticed a instant YouTube trend. And that trend is calling out Modern Warfare Remastered. People like to complain about this game a lot. For whatever reason, I don't really understand why. I'm a big fan of this game. I think this is actually one of my favorite Call of Duties in the last few years. Just because it brings us back to our roots. It just feels like a traditional Call of Duty game. And I'm a big fan of this game. I like it more than Infinite Warfare. And I think that I am a better representation of the average Modern Warfare player than some of these bigger YouTubers that have millions of subscribers. That's the big problem here is these YouTubers that have over 1 million subscribers, and I am talking about specific people here, but I won't be dropping any names. These YouTubers that have 1 million plus subscribers, they're out here and they complain about the game. They don't play the game, but they surely complain about it just enough. These players have given up on the Call of Duty series. They've given up on certain versions of the Call of Duty series. They've said, oh no, this got to be this way, or it's not going to be any way. It's got to be this way, or I'm never going to play the game again. The thing is, these people have such a high influence on the Call of Duty community. Like, it's not a huge part of the Call of Duty community. Even 1 million people is such a minute part of the Call of Duty community, but still, that is a big enough part where it will make a difference in the long run. These people have so much influence over their audience. Say they have 1 million subscribers, 500,000 of them watch their videos regularly. 250,000 of those 500,000 read into everything they say as gospel. So they will believe anything that they say wholeheartedly without any dispute. So the instant that they say something, anything at all whatsoever, 250,000 people will instantly go, yes, I totally agree. I'm going to do whatever they say. And that's not bashing anybody that watches YouTube videos. That's not bashing you guys. That's just the facts. A quarter of any YouTube audience will instantaneously buy into anything that their favorite YouTuber will say. Now, the big problem is these YouTubers are complaining about a game that they don't play. So recently I watched a video. This is more or less a direct response to that video, but this video, the player in the video, which again, I'm not going to drop any names. I don't try to go out of my way to really jump on another YouTuber. I don't try to go out of my way to say like, oh, this YouTuber doesn't know what they're talking about. It just kind of happens because big YouTubers make these broad blanket statements that just are totally false. And if nobody says anything, then nothing will get done about it. So I feel like even with my tiny little audience, if I say something about it, I can kind of, I don't know, get the word out there, I guess. Hopefully you guys are sharing the video and you guys are sharing your own thoughts and we can kind of spread the love instead of the hate. But essentially, I try not to go out of my way to attack other YouTubers. It's just when these big YouTubers say stupid shit, I gotta call them out on it. So this video says, I don't play Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, but these are the things that are wrong with it. If you don't play Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, you have no idea how this game is working right now. There are players that played this game on day one and they've never played it ever again. They've played it and they're like, yep, well, that's stupid. I'm not going to do that. And they just instantly give up on the game. They don't come back to it. But then later, when they added new weapons, like they added the XMLAR, the Kamchatka 12, the 44 Magnum, they added these weapons, and all of a sudden, all of these YouTubers are coming out of the woodwork, and they're going, oh, this is so stupid. I can't believe they added weapons to this game. It was like this and that. But they don't play the game, and they never have played the game. So I'd like to bring up two of my favorite statements that I've ever heard from people that don't play Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Two big complaints that almost every YouTuber has about Modern Warfare Remastered. The first complaint is, this is something that I've played before. I've played Call of Duty 4 before, and that's why I'm not interested in playing Modern Warfare Remastered. The second statement is, everyone is using the same stuff. There's no variety in the game. Everyone runs an M16 with red dot sight, with Juggernaut is used all the time, and everyone is just using the same thing. Frags times 3 is just getting thrown all over the map and all this other nonsense. Let's get started with the first statement. I've played Call of Duty 4 before, so I don't need to play Modern Warfare Remastered, which, fair enough. At the beginning of the game, when Modern Warfare Remastered first came out, I can totally agree with that. Like, sure, you've played Call of Duty 4, you want to move on with the Call of Duty franchise, go play some Infinite Warfare. I don't have a problem with that. The thing is, the problem came afterwards, when everyone started contradicting themselves. They had a new complaint, which very closely relates to this one, which, if you really think about it, is freaking hilarious. So these players came out and they said, I'm not going to play Modern Warfare Remastered. I've experienced Call of Duty 4. There's nothing new here. Well, Raven Software, Raven Studios, Raven Software, whatever, they added in supply drops. They added in a shit ton of weapon camos. They added an inspect feature. They added player customization. They added weapon kits. They added weapon reticles, calling cards, emblems, a whole ton of challenges, 10 new prestiges, level 1000. Dare I go on? They've added a ton of things to this game that were not in the original COD 4. New game modes. They've changed the name of this game. They've added in 3 new weapons. 3 more weapons have been found in the game code that will be being added to the supply drop system in this game. Now the thing is, all of the players that said, I don't need to play Modern Warfare Remastered, I've played COD 4, are the exact same players that come out and say, well, this isn't COD 4. How dare you touch COD 4? It was so perfect before. It was a perfect remaster of Call of Duty 4, and then they freak out because they've changed it, even though not a month ago, these same players were complaining that this was just COD 4 and there was nothing new here. So you just gotta love that contradiction. The second big complaint that I hear about Modern Warfare Remastered is that everyone is using the same thing. There's no variety, which is incredibly false. Look at the gameplay that you're seeing right now. I'm using the M249 SAW, the fucking ACOG sight. I just dreamed that up. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw an ACOG sight on this thing. I unlocked it. I got my 150 kills. I'm like, sure, man. What's the worst that can happen? And I fucking went off. I don't need an M16. I didn't need an M16 to go off in this gameplay. A lot of YouTubers will say that this game has no variety. Everyone's using an M16 with the standard class build. Frags times 3, stopping power, deep impact, or dead silence. And they're just chucking nades and they're using their M16 with the red dot sight, just spamming people. And yes, there are quite a few players that do that. There are a number of sweaty tryhards in this game that sit back with their M16s all day long. But that is not the whole of this game, and if you are believing this false narrative that they're pushing on you, that this game is nothing but M16s, there's no variety, that's bullshit. This game has, like, I think 10 more guns than Infinite Warfare. Like, this game has a shit ton of weapons. There's like 7 assault rifles. Just because everyone else wants to use an M16, just because all of the tryhards are using an M16, doesn't mean you have to. And all of these guns feel really good. They all have a variety to, like, they feel different. And you can have a different experience every time you play the game, which is great. And like I said, just because certain people claim that all that's happening in this game is M16s, that's not the truth. There's more sniper rifles being used in this game than there is M16s. And that goes without saying that there are always 1 or 2 weapons, regardless of what Call of Duty game you're playing, that outshine all of the rest. You telling me that if I don't go on to Infinite Warfare right now and I join any random lobby that 4 out of 6 of the enemy players won't be using either a K-bar or an NV4? If you think not, then you're lying to yourself, because that's just the way the game goes. players don't want variety when it comes to Call of Duty games. Like, there may be those of us like you and I that like to try out every other gun, but a lot of the audience is very competitive and they just like to find the best gun and use that gun until the end of time. But my gameplay is coming to an end, so I'll leave you guys with this. Don't believe everything you hear. Come up with your own conclusions. Activision and Raven are very confident in this title. They're releasing a ton of content for it in the future. It's going to be a heavy hitter. So try it out while you can. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the comments and on the next video.